Hey guys, this is hopefully going to be a really quick video on types of data distributions, but I'm not holding my breath. Types of data distributions. So we're going to do types. So we've done types of data, now we're doing types of data distributions. Alright, there are a few main types, and we're just going to talk about their properties. We're not going to talk about why their properties exist, but if you want to know, ask me. Okay, A. We have symmetrical distributions. Now, symmetrical distributions look like what they sound like. If we draw it, it's symmetrical. Basically means it's the same on either side of the median. Okay, the median's in the middle, it looks the same on either side. So it looks something like that. I'm not going to draw axes and stuff on here. This is not how to draw histograms. You would never draw a histogram like this. This is a symmetrical looking histogram, and when that happens, it has approximately the same shape on either side of the median. And secondly, the mean, mode, and median are approximately the same. Okay, so the mean, mode, and the median are approximately the same. The same. Right. So that is symmetrical. Okay, there's different types. So now we're going to talk about, remember you can pause the video if you haven't copied it, just pause it, copy. Now we're going to talk about a different type. And it's called positively skewed. Positively skewed. And when that happens, the data is skewed or spread out to the right of the median. So it would look something like, I'm just going to raise the measure, something like, and go across my face. It would look something like okay? So the median's probably around here, and the data is super skewed out there. Okay, it's steep up there, and then it's spread all the way out there. So that's a positively skewed graph. The data spread out to the right of the median. As you can see, the mode is usually below the median. It's the mode here, the highest one. So the mode is usually below the median, or the modal class, I should say, from here. But in the data as well, the mode will be below the median. So the mode is usually below the median, and the mean is usually below. And again, I'm not going to explain why. But if you want to know, I want you actually to think about it in terms of what you're actually plotting here. Remember, you're plotting frequencies. Okay? You're grouping a whole bunch of data in here. So this is some data. You see there's lots of different data points. There's lots of different data points. Okay? All in here. All the different values. So each of these things represents data points of different values. That might be a bit of a hint, but don't worry about it too much. If you want to know, ask the question. Right. Our next bit is, you guessed it, negatively skewed. Okay, again, I'm going to put eraser in. Okay, negatively skewed. Just go back. You're crying because you hadn't written it down. Negatively skewed. Alright, you might be able to guess. It's the opposite of positively skewed. The data is spread out to the right, to the left of the median. Data spread to left of the median. The mean, it's all flipped, is usually below the median, and the mode is above it. And when you want to say I'm repeating the same word, you just put those double dashes, so that's what that means. Okay? So I'll do that. It's going to look something like this. Again, these widths are all the same, as you can tell. And they're not got, that's one line. Okay, so this time my spread is over here. Okay, my median is probably about here maybe. My modal class is up here. And my mode therefore is in there as well. And my mean may be about here somewhere. Just changing my highlight colour. Maybe about here. Okay. So that's negatively skewed. We've only got a few to go. There's one. It's all is uniform distributions. This is when pretty much everything has the same frequency. So it looks pretty flat. It's pretty boring. So approximately the same amount of values lies in each class. Interval. Approximately the same number of values lies in each class. Okay? Look at that. So it would be something like that. Like this. Right, it's not there. It's not. Does that look like the same number of values in there? There are approximately the same number of values in every single one of these. Okay? Pretty much, they're all pretty much the same. That's a uniform distribution. So the median is going to be in the middle and very close to the mean. So the mean is probably going to be in the middle as well. As is the mean. Or close to it. I have to remember to try and look at the webcam. Or close to it. And the mode, there'll either be none, so there'll be none which, so it will be completely flat. Or there'll be, or many. So in this case, it looks to me like that. It's the same height as that, which is the same height as that. So the modal classes, remember each of these is called a class interval. That's a class interval, that's a class interval. From there to there is a class interval. All of this, from there to there, all class intervals. But the modal classes are the highest ones, and it's about 3. Alright? Symbols. Alright, E. We're getting there, promise. Bimodal. Keep watching. Bimodal. It means it contains 2 distinct peaks, as there are 2 modes. Alright? Now, there's going to be a very special code in this, which if you haven't listened to this, you won't know. It's going to be crows always win, so the actual code is core, even though that's a lie. Crows don't always win, sadly, but it's me, you never know. Okay, that's the code, core. Core 1. Keep watching to the end. Core 1 because there'll be a little bit extra in it. So bimodal, it contains two distinct peaks as there are two modes. So let me draw that out. It's going to look something like so. As you can see, this is the mode, and that is the mode. They're two distinct peaks, and there's sort of a middle, there's a symmetry to this. There's two clear modes. Okay, so that's what bimodal means, two modes. The mean and the median lie in the middle. The very last thing I want to talk about is outliers. So what do outliers do to data distributions? Well, an outlier on a data distribution is simply a data point that is distant from all other data points, or a class interval, probably I should say, a class interval that is distant from all other intervals. So what will that look like? Well, you might have this beautifully well-behaved little thing called a data distribution. Look at it. It's symmetrical, and then all the way, let's make this even more exaggerated, all the way over here, you have this random little thing. That, my friends, is an outlier. Okay? What does that do? Does it affect the median? Not very much, okay? It doesn't affect the median very much because the median is the middle value, and there's not very many values in this little outlier class interval, so it's not really going to affect the median that much. What it will affect is the mean, because you're adding in, the mean encompasses every number, you're adding in all these small values, so it could throw your mean skewish, which is why sometimes we use the median rather than the mean as a measure of center. Finally, that's it. Core 2019. That's the code, Core 2019. Well done, guys.